Inspector Sule. We moved to the scene. We tried to, in fact, we met a large crowd in front of the PC's house. We tried calming them down, but the crowd was so overwhelming. I therefore radioed police control room to raise Chief Superintendent Kwesi Fori to bring in, to come himself and also come with men to come and assist. Because when we got there, everybody want to talk to either me or the district crime officer telling us what happened. And because of the huge crowd, we could not listen to anyone. Just after the call to Chief Supt Kwesi Fori, within 10 minutes, he came with men. They were down, and we climbed staircase to enable us have a view of them that we can calm them down. But it was so noisy, huge. Then I think whilst we were there, the PC came. So we tried to talk to him, to rather speak to his followers to calm down. And in fact, for some time, we couldn't. So I left, I conferred with Mr. Kwesi Fori to leave some men at the scene whilst we moved to Lagos Hospital to see to those who are at the hospital, my lord.
Now, clarify this for me. Who are you referring to as PC?
The parliamentary candidate of NDC.
Very well. Now, according to your evidence right now, you had to radio Chief Kwesi Fori. Am I right?
Yes, my lord.
To bring in some men.
Yes, my lord.
Is it because you were overwhelmed?
Yeah, because of the number, my lord. And when I went there with the district crime officer, there were only 2 or 3 police personnel I saw at the scene. And I thought their assistance would be needed over there. Yeah. Meanwhile, he was also the operational commander for the elections. So there was the need to get in touch with him.
Mr. Chairman, your witness.
Airport Divisional Commander there speaking as to what, whether or not he ordered, answering questions about whether or not he ordered for the suspects who were injured to be taken to hospital. He said he did not, but he knew for sure that they would be taken to hospital.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, let's get the administrative procedures sorted out. No, in places like Ashanti and Accra region,
yes, my lord,
for most major operations, the regional commander would, his operation order is the one that will be obeyed.
Yes, my lord.
The district commander would write one, the divisional commander would write one, because in these 2 cities, the jurisdictions overlap. Not only in terms of elections, but
yes, my lord.
Yes, so for the elections, you did your duty by writing your operation order.
Yes, my lord.
It doesn't mean that the management should be under
yes, my lord.
Airport. Because, and in fact, the regional operation order said airport and Kotobabi, Nima, sorry. Kotobabi falls under Nima.
Yes,
and a lot of the Ayawaso, West Wuogon areas also fall under Nima. So the 2 divisional commanders would have a lot to do, but it is a regional operation. And therefore, there's nothing wrong if you are not given a specific role under it. You also remember that the regional commanders operation orders said, page 3 of 5, note, divisional commanders, airport and NIMA shall deploy their personnel at the various polling centers within their respective jurisdictions and report back to the regional commander. So you did some deployment. How many of your men did you deploy, and to which? Just a general idea. If you remember, if you don't.
20.
20
Something.
to various districts.
Yes, my lord.
Do you remember the number of polling stations under Ayawaso West?
The total number is about 137. I think 137.
137.
Legon district has 67. East Legon has 30.
Don't worry, 137.
Okay.
So even if there were only 2 policemen at each polling station, and then of course the reserves that the regional commander and the district divisional commander like you should have, you need over 200 men.
Yes,
and that cannot be provided by airport.
Yes, my lord.
It's the regional commander who has, for example, the authority. If you look here, he's calling for people from Madina, Denta, Odoko, Kaneshi, Weja, Dansuman Ministries, Cantonments, Peshi, Bachona, Amasama, and Tesano. And it's a total of 345,
Yes, my lord.
which airport division cannot. Hello. It cannot be supplied by airport.
Yes, my lord.
And therefore, even the districts under you, they cannot supply that number.
Yes, my lord.
And so they all have to be dovetailed into the regional commander's
Yes, my lord.
operation order. And so if somebody gives an impression that whether as district commander East Legon or as divisional commander, he or she has been left out because it is his area and he should be the one to supervise, it's not correct, isn't it?
Yes, my lord.
Yes, because you cannot give instructions to the NIMA commander.
Yes, my lord.
And of course, apart from what I mentioned, there are also a lot of reserve groups from the headquarters which are not under your command, isn't it?
Yes, my lord.
Yes, RCID, that's the regional CID, the Rapid Deployment Force, the Alpha SWAT. All these are some of the regions where it is the regional commander's operation.
Yes, my lord.
So your district officers, how do you deploy them?
For the district officers, the order that was brought from the regional headquarters, the district commander at airport was to assist Chief Supt Isaac at the operational commander. But Legon, for instance, because of the number, because they have a large chunk of the polling stations, so I instructed that even though specifically he was not assigned in a role, he has to also coordinate the activities overall. So for him, I think even the moment the ballot boxes were brought and the people, he called me to inform me, and I expected every other person or other SPO who was not specifically assigned to do same. As I indicated earlier, the crime officer for East Legon, she was also not specifically assigned, but when she monitored what was happening, then she came to me for us to move to the scene and see what was really happening.
Because all police personnel in Accra were on duty that day.
Yes, my lord.
And anything that happened within your jurisdiction, even if it was not election related, would have to be investigated.
Yes, my lord.
And if anybody needed any reserves within your jurisdiction, you have to go and help the person.
Yes, my lord. Okay.
This business of how many people were injured and sent to the station and taken to hospital, with the permission of the chairman, can you please tomorrow bring back the station diary that was brought the other time? And please make photocopies of the entries on the number of injured that is entered in there
Yes,
as
my
having
lord.
been brought by
Yes, my
whoever
lord.
brought them.
Yes, my lord.
And then when they were taken to hospital, how many were taken to hospital?
Yes, my lord.
Whether it's the same number or... And then in terms of police procedure relating to hospital forms, what do you know is the procedure? If somebody comes to the station injured or he complains of being assaulted or injured or something, what's the procedure?
Yeah, depend upon whether the person is a complainant or a suspect. If the person is a complainant, the medical form is issued to him to go to any government hospital. And if the person is a suspect, and depending upon offense, sometimes it's the police that has to take the person to the hospital under guard, so that he has to be guarded 24 hours. And when the doctors decide, he'll be brought back to the station, my lord.
Specifically, if a person complains, you have to take him to hospital.
Yes, my lord.
For the doctor to determine whether he should be
Yes, my lord.
detained or brought back or something.
Yes, my lord.
It is not you or any of your officers who decide that this is not a serious injury.
No.
And so you are not going to hospital.
In fact, that is the reason why when the station officer told me this is what has happened, I told me to speed up with the process and do the writing by sending them to the hospital. And I was there when the investigator also came and confirmed. And my lord, counsel asked me that some NDC officials came to see me before I released. I want to put it on record. It is never true. What happened was, after I've called the station officer to put a man on guard, I was in the office when my Audrey came to inform me that there are some visitors who wanted to see me. And when they came, it was Honorable Colin Dawuda, then Honorable Jaja, I don't know the full name, but Jaja, then another Honorable Jinapo.
Okay.
In fact, they did not even talk to me about bail. The question or what they wanted to know was who brought them there, who brought them to the police station. And I told them I don't have the facts because I had just entered my office and I was told that some people have been brought there injured. So I will let them know the person who brought them after those people have been taken. In fact, Honorable Dawuda was insisting, and he even mentioned that you police people, when the sun rises, you make entry. So what do you want to tell me? You can't tell me the person who brought them. Then Honorable Jinapo just told him they should take my word and they should rather take the person to the hospital first so that maybe later they can take action on it. Then they left. So they did not personally come to see me on the bill.
Hospital.
Yeah.
Okay. At the time they came, were the suspects being processed for hospital?
Yes, in fact, when they even entered and knowing they were honorable members, I invited the station officer, the CID chief inspector in charge of the district, the investigator. I moved to the scene wilt, and another investigator. So 4 people. Before I made them to speak, I invited these 4 people to be in my room to also listen to what they were in to tell me, my lord.
Okay, so to complete what you bring to us tomorrow, the entries about number of injured and their names, the number of suspects that were brought to you, how many were injured, who were they, and then at what time they were taken to hospital, and how many were taken. Was it the same number that came to your division that were sent to hospital, or the number had reduced? If so, please find out why some were not taken to hospital.
Yes, my lord.
And then maybe find out from the entries who authorized that they should be sent to hospital.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, officer. Just one question. If you were told that a district commander under your division was not on the list of officers assigned for the day, so they were not on duty and in fact left injured people in custody to go and vote, what would be your reaction?
Madam, I will be surprised because policemen, they work 24/7. And once the thing is happening within your jurisdiction, whether you are put on a specific duty or not, you could be called at any other time during the period to perform a function or a duty.
So if a person had not been put on the list and he took certain actions, you wouldn't consider that he was interfering?
No, madam. Because as I indicated, myself, I was not on the list. But when I monitored the set, I moved there personally to see what is happening and also give directives. My lord.
Would you be surprised if somebody told you that there must have been some negative reason why you were not on the list? What would be your reaction?
No.
You wouldn't agree?
No, I don't see anything wrong with me being excluded the list. I don't see any reason or bad reason about it because there were officers who even came from Wager and other divisions, Medina, to come and assist. It could be that maybe the regional commander wants me to look at the bigger picture of what is happening and report. Because when it happened, he came there, I briefed him what has happened, and together the two of us went to the scene again. So, because if they had put me on a picture, it could be that I would have been at Joglu side, and I wouldn't have been able to know what even took place at Lao Baulishi. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for
Yes,
your
my lord.
testimony. You are released. You can go now.
Thank you, my lord.
The Commission shall proceed to invite Mr. Mutala Mohammed and Kofi Asamoah Siao to step forward to be sworn in.